Welcome to the High School Football Sports Chat on theDpost.com. I'm Todd Murray along with Sean Manning, our high school football writer. And Sean, it's the Mohawk Bowl week. It's finally here. Morgantown and University squaring off at Milan Pharmaceutical Stadium. It's kind of the roles are really reversed this year.
Yeah, but last year it was University playing for a seeding in the playoffs, and Morgantown was out of it at that point. And this year it's the Hawks that are out of it, and Morgantown that's getting ready to enter the postseason. You have two really potent running attacks in this game with Isaiah Utt over at University, and then you have a bevy of running backs at Morgantown and Maverick Wolfley, Jordan Page, Joseph Turner. Shaquille Johnson became a big part of the running game this past week against John Marshall. And Desmond Cunningham has emerged for the Hawks, too, as a threat outside of Utt, kind of like a shaky back who can squeeze through the line when Utt's the big kid. He ran for about 150 yards and 3 touchdowns against Preston last week. This is a rivalry game. You can pretty much throw records out the window, as last year proved. Even though Morgantown was out of it and University was going to go to the playoffs last year, the game went to overtime. I know that's what Coach John Kelly said. He really wanted this to happen this year with University, is just show some effort, show some pride. And Coach Bowers over at Morgantown said that this is any other game. Don't pay attention to who you're playing. Just go out there and take care of business.
I mean, it's obviously the University High a chance to end the year with 3 straight wins. Morgantown is in a position where they're playing for seeding right now. They're in that sort of dangerous 8-9 territory right now, where you don't want to be with the number 1 seed possibly looming in the second round.
Yeah, absolutely. Cabell Midland, who is currently the number 1 seed in Class AAA, is undefeated and has pretty much wreaked havoc on everyone they've played this year. So Morgantown, if they can bump up, get to that 7th spot, they've definitely want to, especially with win against University.
Right. We've got Preston traveling to Buchanan Upshur. The Knights are trying to snap a losing streak against a Buchanan Upshur team. How do you see this one playing out?
The Knights have not played well at all the last second half of the season. They've lost 4 games in a row. They've just been blown out in every one of them. Scott Stone, who was in the first couple of games, was a calming influence on the offense at quarterback, protected the ball, took care of the ball, and last week against University he threw 5 interceptions. So that should tell you just kind of what's going on with the Knights right now. They just can't seem to put anything together on offense, on defense. They can't slow anybody down.
Right. And we've got Clay Battelle hosting Notre Dame. And before we get into that, we really need to talk about Jarrett Hockenberry of Clay Battelle, who had one of the I would think it's fair to say one of the greatest individual nights that a player from Monongalia County has had in many years. Scored 5 touchdowns against Payton City, but it wasn't so much that, but the way he did it, throwing for 2, running for 1, returning a fumble and an interception for a score. Tell us a little bit more about this young man.
He's an outstanding football player. If you talk to Coach Ryan Wilson out of Clay Battelle, he has nothing but good things to say about him on and off the field. He says off the field in school, he's a great student. His peers really like him, but on the field, he's just incredible. He can play anywhere on the field. Obviously, at quarterback, he's made a name for himself, and they can line him up at wide receiver. On defense, he plays in the secondary, and obviously comes up with some big plays, scoring touchdown last week. But you can't say enough about him as just a young man and a football player.
What's it going to take to have a chance to beat Notre Dame Friday?
The type of offense they've been putting up the past couple of weeks. Even though they lost 2 weeks ago to Cameron, they still scored 50 points. Zach Bain, the running back, has become a very big part of the offense, as well as Hockenberry. And when Hockenberry lines up at receiver, you have Tanner Burnett out there who can get him the ball. Chris Wolf, wide receiver, Devin Weber. Those kids are excellent on offense, and I expect that to continue this week.
Okay, very good. Sean, thanks for your time as always. And please continue to follow our high school sports coverage on theDpost.com.